So, welcome to the main cut. I'm your host Jade, and today I'm here with the mother-daughter team behind Cynthia Erivo's wig for the film Wicked. I'm here with Josee, Abby, and Naomi, and besides running a salon for over 30 years in the heart of North London, the trio have also worked on films like Jurassic World, styling the likes of DeWanda Wise, and many more. And with so much experience under their belts, we're here today to talk about their journey into the hair industry, what it's been like building a salon business from the ground up, and celebrity hairstyling. So, ladies, welcome to the show. It's really nice to have you on today.
Thank you so much for having us, Jade. It's a pleasure.
No, that's okay. We're really lucky to have some of your time, especially with it being so busy. So first, for those in our audience that may not know much about you, it'd be great if you could tell us a bit about your journey into the hair industry. You know, how did you get to where you are now? So, Josee, if we could start with you, and then we'll go on to Abby and Naomi.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. First of all, I'm French speaking, so you might find it hard to understand some of my wording. So excuse me for that, but I'll try my best. So I came to this country in 1987 as a refugee, with almost no word of English, which was hard for me to go to studies because uni was free those days. I didn't know where to start because my English was very little that I learned from my home. So I didn't know that I had a passion for hair, but I remember when I was young, braiding our grass because in our compound we had like grass as flowers. So I used to braid the grass, making like shapes and stuff like that. But in Africa, I think they look down on hairdressing. So my mom and dad didn't really encourage me to go into hairdresser. So, but when I came here, that passion was still in me, although I was a qualified teacher, but I was not interested in that. I loved more beauty. Yeah, so when I came, I was offering people free hair and they will give me nappy for my son and so on. That's how it started.
Wow. I mean, it's also really amazing to hear. I've heard this a few times with different stylists when their parents really want them to go down one path, but somehow they find their way back to hair eventually. So it feels like, you know, you really had a chance to follow your passion.
Thank you.
And Abby, it would be great to hear, how did you get into hair? Was it after, you know, watching your mum? Was it something that was your passion from the beginning as well?
Yeah, so how hair happened, it kind of just fell into my lap, let's just say, because mum has always had the business. So way before I was born, she was already doing hair. I think she even has a picture of her doing hair with me in the stomach.
Oh.
So one day of her labor, in fact, she was braiding somebody's hair just before getting ready to go to the hospital, and I happened to be the baby that was in the belly at the time. And she always tells me the story about the woman that she braided her hair. She'd asked for long braids down to her bum.
Oh.
What happened is mum just not knowing much those days in terms of like the payment. The woman said she's going to the bank to go and get the money, and she never came back. So that's just the story, like just before I was born, and then after that she had me. So we always used to see it because the business started off at home before she ever had the salon and the shop. So we started off at home, and you just see us, like we would be braiding down some of the clients, some of the more familiar clients that know us to be there, and we will just ask for something like 5p a braid. So we'll braid down a little 5-year-old, braid them down for 5p a braid, because you can go and buy 5 penny sweets those times, 1p. So literally you braid like a few of them, 20p, so add up. By the time we reach £1, we're just so excited that it's even reached £1. So that's kind of where my journey started in terms of knowing how to braid. The beautiful thing about my mum, I would say though, is that even though she's had the business and it's always been in our kind of circle and family, she hasn't like been like, oh, you have to be part of this business. So I actually studied education studies and philosophy, and I went to teach for a little while. Before then, when I taught, I then had my kids, and after having my kids, I saw that I didn't have as much flexibility. Whereas with the salon,
Right.
our children to the salon, because we don't do chemicals and stuff. We're particularly focused in braiding, so
Mm.
it's quite a safe environment for them to still be around there, and I'm still working alongside my family.
Oh, I love that. And I mean, amazing to hear the story of you coming into the world, and it was half of your mum was doing her job at the same time.
Yeah.
And also amazing to hear how it's played a role in, a part of your life since you were really little. It sounds like hair has just been really embedded into your family, which is really lovely to hear. And I can imagine growing up in a house where you're taking braids down and you're helping really influences what you end like how creative you end up being as well, seeing all of that in the heart of your home.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I think it's all taken us down that really creative route for sure, I'd say.
That's amazing to hear, and Naomi would love to hear. I mean, I'm sure you had similar experiences in the same home, but would love to hear what was it that got you into hair.
Yeah, no, very similar to my sister. So I like to refer to myself as a braiding baby because we all literally started doing hair from the age of 5, maybe. And it was myself, my sister, and my two first cousins. And so our mums would train us from as young as, like I said, 5 on how to braid, how to finish the ends of plaits, and how to do twists and things like that. But I think what we didn't realize at the time is that we were actually being taught a life skill. So
Mm,
for us, it was just a bit of a hobby, some fun, a way for us to bond with our cousins and aunties and mum and spend some girly time. But in fact, we were being taught a skill that ended up being quite, number one, lucrative, but
mm,
also quite life changing for a lot of women as well. Because braiding is very empowering, isn't it? Let's say it transforms people's crown. So started super duper young. I literally come from school and remember going straight to the salon. Mum would buy me a big bag of snacks. So I had one piece sweets in there, lots of Monster Munch crisps, some Ribena, the flakes chocolate, and I'd stuff my face with that first and then get straight into braiding. But it didn't feel like work, it just
mm,
felt like fun. So it was like almost a culture of just these little babies braiding clients' hair, clients thinking that it's super cute. And in fact, it was training that we're super
mm,
grateful for now that we're older. And yeah, so my mum opened up the salon all those years ago. And she then sort of started training me and my sister on how to manage, how to work, and basically run the salon too. And she was the one who was really fortunate to receive all these amazing contacts and phone calls from Hollywood. And then she just sort of brought us in. And from then, we just started working as a team and we just tried to grow and evolve ever since.
No, that's I feel like this is almost every parent's dream, which is handing something down to their children that they can take along for their entire lives. So I love this story. And I mean, starting a salon is also a massive it's a massive step. Loads of people start off independent and then gradually work their way towards building a salon. And, Josie, what made you want to start a salon? What made you want to move it out of your home into your own space? And what were some of the challenges that you faced as you were doing that?
Okay. First of all, I started getting busy. That this is not a hobby anymore. I
Mm,
think the government will come after me. It was getting busy now. I said, this is looking like a business here.
mm,
Need to start declaring everything and position this breeding stuff. It's not, you know.
mm,
So and then one day I read, I don't, somebody I think told one American man that was selling jewelries. I still have them up to today after over 30 years. I still have it. The man said that it does not wash off. It wouldn't go. It'll be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't rust or anything.
Yeah. So someone gave him my number that I should be trading with him. So he was giving me a little training. So in this training, he said that the mistake that people make when they have a business, they want to keep it for themselves so that they can make a lot of money. But that's not how it goes. That's why he's going around finding people to sell, to be like partners in his business. Instead of him selling 1 or 5 pairs a day, he can sell like 50 a day. So that's why he's trying to get people. The more people you have, the more money you will make. He said that he can make £100, but the other person will make another 100 there. They will share it. But all those 50s together that you get from 10 people makes even more than what is. I mean, he put it in a way that I understood that everything is togetherness.
Yeah.
Something clicked in my head. I said, but people have been calling me to do their hair. But it's like the whole month is full. Like from the 1st to the 3rd to the 30th, it's full. I don't have any space.
Right.
But if I take this thing out and make it as a proper business, if I get like 4 girls, we're lining up there, maybe it's a business. Let me try this. And I tried to get girls who were coming from Africa. I said, can I train you? So I started training people. And I called my husband's cousin. I say, I'm looking for a shop. Can you help me find one? I found a little tiny winny thing in Stradwin Road next to the tube station. So I said on my interview that people were laughing at me. Yeah, they said, oh, we heard that you've got a little, we call it ligablo in French, like a tiny winny thing, like even a boutique, but I don't know how
Like a
to describe.
matchbox or something.
Like a box, like they were laughing at me. Like
Oh.
yeah, so just breading, you're opening a shop for breading, having that breading, that's for market in Africa, blah, blah. They were saying stuff that were really discouraging. So I started working there was no toilet. You have to go to the tube station to beg for a toilet, you know? Yeah, one of my girl that was training was even heavily pregnant. So she had to, yeah. We didn't even have nowhere to throw the water when we dip the hair in hot water. So it was very hard. Yes, on Stradwin Road, somewhere there by the Finsbury Park Station.
Blue. It was like a blue little.
It's still there, in fact,
still
that
there.
place is still there. I was paying like £30 a week.
Oh.
Yeah, and when my kids finish school, I have to go and get them from school and bring them into that box there. TV it wasn't easy at all. And then one day a man was passing, goes to me, oh, Josee, oh, I know you. You live near my house. I say, yeah. Oh, what a shop. Is this your shop? I say, yes, but it's too small. Because my clients are sitting on this outside the shop. There's no space. Yeah.
Trying to be braiding outside.
Outside, something disaster. And then he told me, I'll give you a shop. I've got a shop. Come and see. So I went with him in Seven Sisters Road. His name was Carlos. And then he showed me that he had a big space. I said, okay, I can rent this. Then we agreed and I started renting it. I didn't really know about business. I didn't know much about anything. I didn't even know that I needed an accountant. I have to pay VAT. I didn't know all that. End up paying over 34,000.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, when everything came
penalty, you know. Yeah, I always say that. I always feel like I wasn't treated fairly because I'm trying to find my way. But they asked me that ignorance is not an excuse. You know, what can we do as government? So it was hard. So one day they came, they started closing everything. So I had to take everything home, my mirrors, my chairs, my everything. I had to take it home. And now I'm busy. I'm getting busy now. What do I do? And then I started going Stradwin Road. I was looking everywhere around the area, looking for a shop. As I'm coming home, I see a place saying for rent or to let.
Mm.
Place now, since I came to London, this place was all burned up. It's next to the Universal Church in the corner of
UCKG.
UCKG. Yeah. So, and I found the place. I found the place. I took the number, and then I came home and I told my husband that I found the place.
Mm.
How come? I said this the burned place they put that is to rent now. My husband said, but the whole place is burned up. How are you going to? I said, I will fix it. How would you fix it? The whole place was burned up for maybe 10 years.
Oh, wow.
No one on that side from corner, like maybe 10 or 15 shops.
Wow.
So and then I called the people. They said to me, "Oh, we are in Archway. Come to our agency." So I got there. They told me, "Oh, sorry, the shop is gone." Threw myself on the floor. I said, "Did you say man?" And he goes, "Yeah, the shop's already gone." I threw myself on the floor. I was crying. I said, "No, you can't give it to a man. You said it's a man. I'm a woman. Women first. Look after me. Give me the shop. He can go and look for another one." Like that.
Mm.
Because the man's name was Papa. So Papa in French, like daddy, father.
Yeah.
You're my father, yeah. So just help me. And so it happened that he had to call this man to say that I'm sorry, I can't let the shop anymore. And he gave it to me.
Wow.
He gave me 2 weeks to fix the shop. And I
Oh,
put
wow. So 2 weeks to fix everything.
2 weeks to fix everything. Yeah. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I don't know how to explain to you. So the whole place was black. That's a lot of money. I didn't have money, and I already left them with. They wanted about £5,000 deposit, something like that. I don't even know where I got that money from. I think from my cleaning job that I used to do in Jeremy Corbett office. This
Uh,
clean from Jeremy Corbett office before all the money. I was saving all the money.
wow.
89 a week I was getting. I used to save it. I made a bit of money, and my husband gave me some. So I
Mm.
paid deposit, and I fixed the place. I fixed the place in 1 week. I said, let me do 1 week so I can have 1 week free.
Wow.
And then I started trading like that.
I mean, that's incredible to hear, not just because I feel like most people don't have that level of strength to keep going when it feels like you're constantly being having a fight, and you went through the fight to get to where you are now. And I mean, Abby, Naomi, it must have been something to watch your mom go through building that. I mean, I'm sure you were young when it was happening, but even so, seeing mum do all of that must have been something else.
With
I
no
think,
English.
yeah, I think for us, because you got to remember we were still very young when all of this is happening.
Mm.
So I think at the point where she got, because this is the third shop now we're talking about, the one that was burnt down.
Yeah.
I'm maybe 10 around that time, and Naomi's 4 years younger than me.
Okay.
So I think at times we would notice like the stress when for like the 32,000 thing. I don't think you can
Mm.
do that. Like even though you've got kids and you're still trying to be a mother, that
Mm.
would go down. So we would notice stuff like that. But I think in terms of like how I remember, like what sticks in my mind as well about the business, because obviously we're still kids at this point where we're not working for mum, as to say
Yeah.
we're at the salon, we're walking around, we might do 10 braids or 10 ends for somebody and then go off and ask mum for money to buy some sweets.
Mm.
So I think one thing mum used to do is she would come home, because you've got to remember, like in the 90s and stuff, there will be ladies lined up. I'm talking like 20, 30 ladies, and it's first come, first served. So
Mm.
waiting to do their hair. But one thing I remember, because so much money will be made during the day, although those days, I think it was like £50, maybe £70.
£85.
£85. It wasn't as expensive as it is now. Like has changed, prices have changed. But I think what's stuck in my mind is Mum would make so much money that day that she couldn't count it on her own, and she would just put it all on the bed. We had to count it with her and put it into hundreds, and then
Wow.
pile it
So
all
you were
up.
throwing it up and that is
Yeah, but no,
swimming
but
in the money.
we learned to count it properly, because I remember we had to, like, the 20s. We'll put 5 of them together. That's 100. Give it to mum, and we'd all sit down. Me, my mum, my
I
sister
remember that.
would do it. Um,
Wow.
so that is like something that I remember. That okay, they were doing well. Like staff at that time. Mum had maybe 15 members of staff at the new place, 15 to 20 girls
Wow.
working for her. So it was going well. We can see that it was going well, but at the time we're just kids. We're like in and out. We've got a salon and stuff. Yeah.
That's that sounds like an amazing memory. And Naomi, you just said that you remember that.
It's funny though, because sometimes some memories just sort of lie dormant in your headspace.
Mm,
But my sister revived that memory, and I remember it so vividly. That yeah, business was booming essentially. But I think, like Abigail said, you don't really appreciate that when your thinking abilities are so premature. What do
mm,
you know at 5, 6? How do you process business, the idea of business, the
mm,
idea of business excelling and doing well? You can't. But it's now that I'm a mum
mm,
and understand how difficult it must have been for my mum to have been multitasking, having to run her business
mm,
whilst also being attentive to 4 very young kids' needs
mm,
and doing both simultaneously so well. Like we never lacked anything, as in we had everything that we wanted when we were kids. Right
mm.
up until this day, she's still so attentive to each and every one of our needs, and she's still doing so well business wise. So for me, I'm just super inspired by her. I feel like I've got 2 kids of my own now, just literally surviving, but she was thriving. She was doing so amazingly well, managing so many members of staff
Mm,
whilst having her own family, a married woman, so taking care of her husband as well, and
mm,
having hundreds and hundreds of clients weekly. So I think my takeaway is just more so inspiration. Like I just find her super duper inspirational and like a really good example for other younger women out there to understand that starting a family doesn't require for you to put your dreams on hold. Like
mm,
you can simultaneously attain all these beautiful goals and objectives and dreams that you have of becoming a businesswoman and
mm.
also raise your family and do the two very well.
Mm.
So yeah, she inspires me. Long story short.
And
Oh,
yeah, it also makes me see as well, like how much she was like a people person. Because now
Mm.
I'm 35 at this point, and I know that mum was younger, a bit younger than me when she was running this business with all these kids. And the
yeah.
girls there, they must have been like, at the time, they seemed like really old and mature because we were younger, but they were like 20, 21, 19, 25, and there were so many of them. And to have to manage all these young ladies
Hmm.
salon, and you're barely touching 35 yourself, it
Mm.
just makes me see the people skills that she had as well.
Yeah. And I mean, that's almost like at that point, you're not just looking after staff, you're mothering other women, other young women that are coming up in the same field. You're looking after them. So,
Yeah, mum is saying, so it's can't you, but she's saying that pretty much most of them got married in her hands.
oh,
Partners for
Yeah,
them and match made.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of them. A lot of them are still married up till this day.
yeah.
A lot of them bought houses because of mum. So yeah.
Some of them have businesses.
Mhm.
I love that. And we need to see more of that in the hair industry because it's such a big space. There's so much room for everyone. There's room for everyone to build, like you say, build their own business, make enough money, look after their family, hand a legacy over to their children.
Yeah,
There's more than enough, but more often than not, they just need their help
yeah.
from somebody who's more experienced that cares enough to help them.
So that's when they arrested me. I'm like, why
Mm,
arresting me? They should send me to some school to learn how to do business. I didn't know I needed, I was. It wasn't a fraud because I'm a Jehovah's Witness. My kids are even forgetting to tell that the Wednesday was devoted for my God. Devoted for my God. Used to go preaching every
Right.
in the morning until about 3 before they come out from school. I'm there preaching everywhere. And I'll bring them something new every week. Something they've never eaten, something they've never seen. Every week it was, so they can let me go for my preaching. That so it's good. Yeah.
I mean, it's what you've done is not only inspire your children, but inspire generations of people that have the same dream. There are so many stylists that want to do what you have done, which is build a salon, build a career,
Yeah.
and help other people
And
get
you know
there as well.
that. So you people know where to start.
Mm.
That is, and do it properly. I was just doing it anyhow with the 34,000 to be paid in 10 months. I didn't know how to do it, but you people from here, you can do it properly.
Yeah. And I mean, that's actually one of the biggest challenges that most stylists face is that creative side with running a business. That's the biggest challenge, especially when you're doing all the jobs. You know, you're the stylist, you're the accountant until you hire one, the manager. Um, you're doing so much, and like Naomi said, you're also looking after your 4 children and your husband and yourself.
Yeah.
So to come to this country and not know how that system works and to still build a business like this is incredible. Um, but how did you when the storm passed and you had to after you had to pay that bill, how did you find the business side of things after going through that?
Beautiful. Now I knew that because I didn't know I can be in trouble with the government.
Mm,
Now I knew that I'm clean. I know how to pay my taxes. I know how to employ the people properly. When you come to look for a job, I will declare you. If you don't declare your job, that's your business. You get in yourself. At least I'm not in it. So I became like clean now. I knew how to manage it, and I wasn't afraid anymore. And I
mm.
got a proper accountant. Yeah, because even with the 34,000, I had an accountant, but I didn't know she wasn't a real one.
Oh,
Yeah, I had one because those days, if you're making more than 57,000, I think, then you have to declare for your VAT. But
right.
I was making more than that. She didn't let me know that I need to declare for my VAT. So one day they just came there. I was out preaching, and the girls called me. Oh, we left some letters. They left some letters here for the government came here. Blah 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 blah. I was laughing. I didn't even know it was serious.
Oh,
Called my account. She goes, "What? Are you serious?" I said, "What is it?" She goes, "Me, this is very serious." Why didn't you tell me? And then she ran. She vanished. Yeah, she vanished.
oh,
Yeah, and I got another accountant who's been looking after me, but unfortunately he passed away 2 weeks ago. But I found another one before yesterday. So
yeah. I mean, it just goes to show it's not just part of having a business is having the right people around you,
exactly,
the right people who will do right by you and help make sure that you do the things that need to be done on time.
exactly, yeah,
So at least you have the right people around you now.
yeah. So doesn't matter how small your business is, you must have an accountant.
Mm,
You must have a good accountant. Not
yeah.
the one who charge you £300 or £200. The proper ones are not less than 1,000. Invest in that.
Mm,
Invest in that. Yeah, because once the government is happy with you, you grow. You know. Yeah. Otherwise, you think you're making money, but before you know,
mm.
big trouble, and all the money was sinking. Yeah.
I think that's good for everybody to hear because, like I say, there's people that have already started their business. There are people who are thinking about running it, and it's good for them to hear what can happen
Yeah.
if they don't know. You know, you don't know what you don't know, but we want to stop people from going down that path of getting stuck and having a similar problem. So, thank you for sharing that because you know that's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I mean, the I'd love to talk about Wicked now because that's one massive project that all three of you worked on together. I have seen the film as well, so the wig on Cynthia Erivo looked incredible, and I can imagine that getting that call must have been a very big deal. It's a huge film, it's a huge role, and she's an incredible actress anyway. So, how did it feel knowing that all three of you helped bring the character of Elphaba to life?
What would you say? I feel that we were a bit naive, let's just say, as to what we were getting involved with. Because we'd worked on projects before, and it's been amazing. It's been great, and we're like, yeah, we're working for Universal, and Jurassic has come out, and this has come out, whatever. But I don't think we anticipated how big Wicked was going to be. I don't think we anticipated it. And what's actually funny as well is when Mum got the phone call, you need to remember Mum is like, for example, when she's had people call her from like, oh, by the way, we're calling from Love Island, but Mum's like, who River Island? So she doesn't know these things, like we're calling you about me, she's like, me who? So these phone calls come, but unless we're on the other line to be like, yeah, Mum, this is Love Island calling you, it's like she's just like a bit blasé about it. She's more concerned about, I've got to do these braids and they got to look wicked and this is what we're going to do. But in terms of like the whole character, I'd be completely honest. She had to ask me, Mark, they're telling me it's for a woman called Cynthia Erivo. Her telling me Cynthia, I had to Google it. That's the honest. It was only until I told my sister-in-law, my sister's like, Cynthia, she's big. Like, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. When this comes out, everyone's gonna be on your line, like, you guys are gonna blow. And I'm like, what? Seriously? She's like, yeah. So she was the one that was telling me, Mum, and my sister, we're just, I don't know, Naomi, you can speak for yourself here, but me personally, I don't know anybody. And I think to some degree, I know although celebrities want to be known, but it does help. Like when we do get like famous people come into the salon, because we're so like naive to like who these people are sometimes, it lets us act in a way that is very, very like treat them like not normal, but normal to some degree where they're like just like a human being. Like we're just genuinely getting to know each other at the salon. We're having conversations, but I guess sometimes all the fascination can sometimes be a bit much for people. So it does help in a way, like it's like that going back and forth with people and not being like, who's that? So getting the call was just like, okay, another job's come up. We've got to nail this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I even knew Mum what was happening. It was just like, we've got to do these super, super, super small micro braids. As you can imagine, it's not something that our clients come in and say, we want these super, 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 super small micro braids. Not to that smallness,
Yeah.
Small braids, but nobody comes in for like micro braids.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because I don't think even the film did it justice as to actually how small they were in person.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not showing how small it is.
It shows small, but like they were literally like
on the film, it's not
strands of hair.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that, I mean, I can imagine it will look a little bit different on the big screen, especially after, editing as well. So it wouldn't be the same as seeing it in your hands when the three of you had done it and had finished the wig. But Naomi, what was it like for you when you got the call? How did it feel to you when you realized, okay, this is for Wicked, this is for Cynthia Erivo? Yeah, what was it like for you?
Yeah, I think a bit similar to what my sister said. There definitely was an element of ignorance and of oblivion, just not knowing how far the wig would reach, really. But it was exciting. It was different. We'd never made a wig this small before. Of course, we are experienced braiders, but this required a different level of like patience, of skill, of being meticulous, paying attention to detail, because we were told that it was for a very big film. Despite having very limited knowledge about the film, we knew it was for a very big film, a big actress. It was exciting. It was also like a nice bonding time. Like, so myself, my sister, my mum, and one of my aunties helped as well on the side. And I
Right.
remember us just thinking that it was never going to end. We'd like laugh and joke about this never ending wig, but we'd still keep going despite being super tired, despite our fingers being on fire. We'd keep going, we'd keep going, and we'd keep going, and we'd keep going. And then on the last day, it was like, oh no, it was kind of hard to let go of this wig that we kind of got attached to after 3 days of endless braiding, you know? But yeah, it was super exciting, really, really exciting. Um, but once again, seeing the reception that it's got, it's just been overwhelming. Because I do understand that there was 4 wigs made for the film, and we braided the first one, so our one was worn in the first segment of the film. Uh,
Right.
and it was just nice to see our work on the big screen. It was lovely to see how it translated from being in our hands to being on the big screen, and just looked so beautiful, so seamless, supernatural. And it was a blessing. It's definitely a blessing to have been involved in such a huge project.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine. And also, it's what it's meant to the people who watched the film,
Yeah,
because it's so nice to see an actress like Cynthia on the screen, very much in our image. So
yeah,
people can see somebody that is wearing braids and that looks like us, and
yeah,
it feels like it's not just another film, with somebody that's been casted. They've really tried to make the role about her.
yeah,
I think that's what's gotten so many people so excited about it, is that that the wig that you've made and the other wigs that have made have really made it more of a cultural statement
yeah.
about the character,
A-
and that's an amazing thing to be a part of.
Absolutely.
And I mean, you've mentioned it already, but how how did you all work together to create this wig in 2.5 days? Because
It was, so you know what's funny? I feel that because we like I thankfully I'm the one that had most of the pictures of the wig and like the process, because I think Naomi lost her phone when she had her baby. She lost her phone, so she had like nothing left. And I just happened to just be one of those people that I don't like to take pictures and I don't document. And it's not great, and I need to get better at it because we live in a world of social media. But I just happened to like document a few snippets of our process, and thankfully I did that. Otherwise, there would have been like no, there would be no footage. Literally, we would have had zero footage of what we were doing, and I think that probably part of it comes from because I also run an interior design company.
mm,
Sometimes when you have a job, like you know exactly what it's going to turn out as,
mm,
but there's just something in your brain that thinks, oh, is it going to turn out the way I expect it to turn out in the end? Which it always does. But for some reason, sometimes you like shy away from taking the beginning process because
mm,
you think, oh, wait, is this going to be a complete shambles and it not turn out the way I'm expecting it to turn out? So even in the process, I did take a few videos, and it was just nice to hear us like mums talking about when me and my sister would go out late at night and she'd be worried as a parent, and
oh,
trying to just bond, and like because the wig took so long. So we just had time to just bond and chat. And to be fair, we're always chatting, but it was another level of chatting because we saw no end to these micro braids. Like we think we've got clients that have been in and out within 45 minutes. We can break in an hour and your hair is going to look amazing. Your hair is going to last you. So braiding is like, we could do it with our eyes closed, you know what I mean? But we had this task that's been given to us. We're like, these Hollywood people, they're always trying to just do the most with us, you know? We had this braid that we couldn't see the end of, and we're just braiding the tiniest portion of this whole big wig that's come to us, and we're just braiding on it. And it's like, yeah, this ain't gonna finish, so let's just talk. Then one would go off to sleep a little bit, shut their eyes back, because it was a bit of like an emergency type
You were
of wig.
coming to check it every time.
Yeah, so many phone calls. At one point, we'd started, but then by the time they came and checked, the braids were a little bit big, so we had to take them out.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. It was intense.
I can imagine. And Josie, what was it like for you to have this task, but with both of your children beside you? And, as a family, it's like it was a family task to get it over the line in a few days.
Yeah, without them, I wouldn't have accepted it because I was traveling. I was going.
Ah,
Yeah, I was going to Africa. And
okay.
guess what? I just took stuff from anywhere, checking in my suitcase like that. It wasn't folded. So when I got home, I didn't have this, I didn't have that, I didn't have this. So they had to keep sending me stuff. Oh, my blue trousers, oh, my shoe. So that's how it was. So without them, I couldn't have done it because I only had 3 days left for me to travel.
Was done within the 3 days as well.
Yeah.
I don't think mum
didn't
even see. She didn't even see the
final
result. I'm the one. I think, like my sister said, then my auntie was involved a little bit as well. So I had to go and finish it up with my auntie before the chauffeur came to pick up the wig, because they were calling. Oh yeah, the chauffeur needs to start filming. Blah, blah. So it was very intense. It was very
It
quick
looks like they were
turnaround time.
behind with the filming.
Yeah,
That was
they were behind with the wig that they needed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it was like we need this urgently because filming depends on it, kind of situation.
A bit of a hiccup with the original. I think it's come from America, and then by the time they had to put the hat, because she has to wear the hat during the film.
Yep.
It didn't fit onto the one that was already meant to be worn. So that's like, okay, filming needs to start. We'd already planned for this wig, but it hasn't gone to plan, and we have to quickly make a new one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it's intense. There's a lot of pressure there because you already know there's one wig that's gone wrong.
Yeah. It was very scary, as I said. We were worried and very, I don't know.
Because it was small, and then when we were shown the other wig, it's fine. Like, we didn't realize that it's mainly because the hat couldn't go on. Maybe it was micro as well.
It was perfect.
So we were like, okay, they've got this wig. This is pretty fine. So what they want us to, like, what are we doing? But I think it was the fact that she had to wear the hat, and if the hat couldn't fit properly, they needed a new wig. So that's why it was like, turnaround had to be so quick, because obviously they couldn't see the one that had come from America.
Right.
Place here. So we had to step in and do one with a quick turnaround time and rolling with the film.
Wow. Well, I mean, you all did an incredible job, and I feel like I said, people loved the film not just because of her character, but because of the representation. So knowing that you've been a part of that, that's something that will never leave you. That's something that's permanently going to be on a screen that will be shown over and over again. So it's just amazing to hear how you all came together as a family to do that too. And I mean, what has life been like since working on the film? Because you've all said there was a bit of naivety and not knowing how big it could be, and the reception to the film has been incredible. So people have had lots of good things to say about it, not just about the acting, but the presentation of the characters. So what has life been like for all of you since working on the film? Has anything changed?
Life has been, we are of a mindset that we like to try to remain humble. We try to not let it get to our heads much or anything, and just still remain humble. But yeah, there's been a lot of we had the BBC acknowledging us, and we've been able to like deliver master classes. So we recently delivered a master class at CMS, Creative Media Skills. So they are based in Pinewood Studios, where a lot of filming happens in Pinewood. So we delivered a masterclass to upcoming hairstylists and makeup artists and people to do with in film. So it's our journey and what that's been like. We've got a lot more new clients coming to the salon and just be like, we saw you guys and want to come. So it's been a lot more new people coming to the salon. I guess it's added to our credentials of all the other stuff that we've done. But I think it also allowed us to sit down and think as like, what are also our next steps for the salon? Like, how are we going to put forward our social media? And like just realizing that even when you're really good at something, not to blow in trouble, but when you're good at something, you need to like let people see.
Yeah.
Because without letting people see, they wouldn't know that this is what you've done and how good you are at something. So yeah, there's been that too.
No, I love to hear that it has also brought more for you as a family and as a business. And Josee, how has it changed things for you? I imagine the salon was already busy and now it's probably busier.
Yeah, it's very busy. In fact, yesterday I didn't go.
Girls were there.
It's not easy. It's a big responsibility, and I didn't realize all these things are just happening. Even we came when they tell Mommy, you got over 2 million views.
Yeah,
Point
2
one.
points off a million.
I'm not, I'm an old person. I'm not this generation. So I'm just like,
yeah, Mom, you gone viral.
Mom, you got what is viral?
People don't care about all of that.
I'm also glad to hear that you've taken some time off too, because I can imagine it's been a lot since. And you have to also take that time out for yourself. You've got a business to run, you have a family, you've got your husband and your, grandchildren now. So it's important that you also rest and don't feel like it's not just you that can look after the salon as well.
I think just very similar sentiments that it's I definitely feel like it has helped business to boom once again. Like my sister said, we've had some really lovely interviews, lots of lovely guests and VIP clients visiting the salon, and it's just given us another incentive to keep on pushing and striving to reach high, and to understand that sky really is the limit. Even when we had the BBC come over to interview us, it was such a wonderful opportunity. And obviously Mum's story touched a lot of people around the world, so it was nice to see that not only did we do this massive huge project, but so many people were moved by Mum's story. And it's just been a very humbling experience. Yeah,
I can imagine it would be. And like I said, you've all come together as a family and done something that I feel it's something that we don't see often enough, which is, the act of building something is already very difficult. Like your mom said, like Josee said, it's hard enough to build a business, but when you have the right people, when you have your family, when everybody is putting their effort and their energy in, that's what makes it so much easier in the long run. It's never easy, but it's easier. And it's really beautiful to see that all of you have stayed together and done this together. 3 women that are just really inspired to do better in the hair industry. So I think I can speak for many people when I say we all love to see that. And I mean, just talking about the hair industry in general now, it'd be good to hear what all of you think of this, but what are some of the biggest problems that you're seeing in like the textured hair space right now? And how do you think we can start to fix that? So Naomi, I'll start with you and then we'll come back to Josee and Abby.
When you say the hair industry, are you referring to the salon space? Film and TV? What in particular are you referring to?
I mean, it could be any of the above, the textured hairspace in general, whether you're seeing the problems that you're seeing in film and TV, or as somebody that's worked alongside a salon for many years.
I think it's something that you alluded to earlier,
Mm.
where I feel like in our community we have to understand that there's room for everyone.
Mm.
I do recall that when my mum did go viral, there was a bit of a backlash from some people who didn't receive the same exposure that we were privileged to have received. And we had people even trying to discredit our work. And it's just such a shame to see, because that's not what is expected in a field that can be just so empowering and so unifying. But this was sort of used as a platform to divide
Mm.
by people who are just speaking without thinking and writing and typing without thinking of the impact of what they were saying,
Mm.
just because another team received exposure that we didn't ask for. The BBC just
Mm.
to interview us, you know? I pushed, my sister pushed. We really, really promoted the wig that we made on our Instagrams.
Mm.
And I guess that instigated a lot of attention from the media.
Yeah.
Not something that we asked for, it just happened. So I think it's so important for us to learn to celebrate each other's wins and work on not trying to disempower, but to empower each other, and to understand that when one wins, we all win.
Yeah.
It's not a competition, it's not a fight. It's an industry that's ever growing, ever evolving, and there's space for absolutely everyone. As long as you're industrious
Mm.
and as long as you're committed to what you do, you will receive whatever opportunities that are made for you, that God has intended to be for you.
Mm.
Because ultimately it is God, Jehovah, who decides what blessings will come your way. And if you have that if you have good intentions towards others, and you like to uplift and upbuild other businesses, your business will also thrive. You've just got to be
Yeah.
patient and careful and loving towards other businesses.
Yeah. No, that's so true. And it's I think it can be really difficult when there's that kind of crabs in a bucket mentality where everybody's fighting for what they feel like is the same thing. But like I said, and like you said, Naomi, there's actually more than enough for everybody. So no, I think that's a really good point. And Josee, what are some of the issues that you've seen in the textured hair space that you think we need to, as a community, we need to address?
Yeah, we need to stay united.
Mm.
Yeah, when I went for my because I normally I teach myself, but I thought I need a certificate. That's
Mm.
people they come for chemical, not so much. I don't like doing it, but I said let me be a professional one. So we learned that whatever you're not good at, you have to send to someone else, and that's what I do. Yeah, someone will come there. Oh, I want to texturize my hair. I want to do curly perm or whatever. So I know all the numbers of the hairdressers who are good at that. Someone
Mm.
locks, I'll send them to the right place for the lock. So we need to look after one another.
Yeah.
When I opened the braiding shop, there were no braiding shops in London. It wasn't the thing where they really, put they didn't really pay attention to it. People used to do it. They will have their chemical aside, but I was only extension, only braiding.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy that everyone is doing it, because people will come to my shop, they will be crying on my stairs that I can't do it. Although I used to teach many girls to start trading with me, but we couldn't cover the whole UK.
Yeah.
Pride that there's no one to do their hair. But now that we're many, it's nice. I mean, knotless. I didn't bring the knotless.
Mm.
God, I didn't know. I'm not the one that invented goddess or
Mm.
stitch braids. There's so many coming, and it's our young ones doing this. Our babies. They're bringing so many nice styles. In my days, it wasn't like that. All
Mm.
wet and wavy hair, 14 inches to 18 inches. From pack didn't even exist. It was from extra hair on 7 sisters small.
Oh.
No, there was no pack, my babies. There was no pack where you find hair. Pack used to sell fufu and stuff like that. And then they used to have a bucket on the side with some hair that used to come from Africa. Same hair all the time, like some rings like that. That's all hair. But in extra hair, they had few. They were plaiting upstairs. I mean, let's say the salon upstairs and downstairs they were selling hair, but we didn't do much with hair. All we did was do pick and drop, cornrows, and weave. But how the variety of hairstyles. It's because we are together, we're working together. So I think we need to be united and just promote the hair industry, or let's call braiding. Yeah, now it's very value. It has a value now. Braiding. Yeah.
Guess so.
It's yeah. Go.
And I think also what you're saying as well. We now with internet, social media, etc. Have as Black Afro Caribbean, we've become more aware of our hair. So less people relaxing their hair. I'd say at the salon, 99.5% of the ladies that come there to braid their hair, it's in its natural form. Like, we rarely ever get relaxed hair now.
Right.
So of people are realizing like what the chemicals do, and a lot more are in tune with how to care for their hair. And it puts us on our tippy toes as well, because although we're braiders and we know a lot about braiding, we're also now having to get other skills and like hair care. What are the best products out there now? Because everyone is so like educated about hair that we have to also be able to provide them the right education if they've got breakage at the front or what that being able to give the right consultations. So not only are we having to learn a lot more now, like Mom said before, pick and drop, braids, whatever. Different styles are coming out all the time now. With social media, people are inventing different styles, and the clients come there and they think that they are hairdressers as well. Like, in their mind, they tell you how you need to do that. So it means we're also having to be on our A game to be like, no, you've seen that on social media, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that is the reality of how to achieve that hairstyle, or that's the reality of how it goes. Because there is some things that come out, I'd say, that in reality it looked good how they filmed it and the video came across, but not the reality of how things go. That's not the reality of a hairstyle that is going to suit your hair. Also, so we still have to give those consultations, so we still have to know, and we're just having to constantly keep up with like new things out. I'm constantly having to send, because Mum's not on social media or TikTok or whatever, so I'm having to send her videos across and be like, Mum, you need to look at this, because soon everyone's going to be calling, because this is the style that they now want. And constantly having to like research, and it's nice, but I guess in this day and age as well, there's a lot more to running a business than just the clients coming in, because there's just so many different elements that you've got to think about now. Mum is also of a different generation, so I'm constantly, like, me and my sisters and I, we're having to like she's always been a lovely person, to be honest. All her clients would always say, but I guess with the girls that work for us at the salon, we're constantly having to give them like training on like different customer care, because we're of a generation now where we expect more. Like, we want to go to a salon and we want to feel like princes and princesses and kings and queens, you know what I mean? Because we do male hair as well there, but we want good service, you know, and it's that thing as well to say, I don't want to stereotype, but like there's kind of been that notion in the background where black hairstylists are not as professional or not as caring to their, and we're just trying to break down those stigmas and those stereotypes that no, we can do good, we can treat each other well, you can come to a salon and feel amazing, be treated in the way that you want to be treated, be heard, come out of your hair looking good, as well as receiving brilliant customer service and customer care, and leaving happy. So I guess those are some of the things that we're like constantly working on and stuff like that, and just trying to like keep up with the times and keep up with just great customer care.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, times change very quickly, and people love a new thing, whether it's a new hairstyle or just something new that's come out. People love it, love the new thing, and I can imagine like that's a challenge to keep on top of. Okay, what's the new thing that everyone's talking about now? And customer service is a huge deal. I think we spend so much money on our hair. And I do believe that 9 times out of 10, people are willing to part with the money as long as they feel like they're treated well.
Sure.
I think it's less about, because if somebody is spending 6 hours doing their hair and they're charging £150 plus, I don't think a lot of people will argue that it's worth the money. They just want to feel that the person's treated them nicely and treated them the way that they deserve. So I think that, there's definitely been a lot of healing to do, I think, in the black hair space of people that haven't had great experiences. But what I love is that at a time where I think salon culture isn't as prominent as it used to be, a lot of people are going off and becoming independents first, versus like going into a salon and learning from people that have been around for 20, 30 years. I think what I love to see is that at your salon, you're doing that work, which is you're instilling all of those good habits into those girls, into those women that are coming in as braiders and natural hairstylists. So at some point, if they ever choose to work for themselves and be independents, they'll have all of that great, like those great lessons already instilled in them, which is, I think, what's kind of missing right now. And saying that, I'll go one by one so that we can hear this. But what is your one piece of advice for up and coming hairstylists? So, Josee, I'll start with you.
If Auntie Josee has done it, anyone can do it. Oh, see, even my name is not even Josee. My name is Marie Josee. I accepted Josee because my clients were more relaxed with that. I came from a French country, here they speak English. They can't say Marie Josee. I'll tell my name is Marie Josee. Marie Jose. I said, okay. I write it down. They read it. They said Josee. I said, okay, I'll take that. So for years now, I've been Josee. But if you go to my mom, where is Josee? You tell Josee, who's that? So I the name that does not belong to me to make my customers relax. You see. So customer care is the first thing. Yeah. If Auntie Josee can do it, you can all do it. It's not easy, but just be determined. And when you're doing someone's hair, don't say that I've got another client coming at 2, so let me rush this one. This hair you're doing, that's your advertisement. This person will be walking into streets and meeting thousands of people. She's working for you, carrying those braids on their head. So do it as nice as you can. And always put in your mind, I want my braids to be the best braids. People do recognize my braids, my customers. They will ask, oh, who did your hair? Josee, I knew. Because if it wasn't just then, I'll ask who is your hairdresser, because in case just is not available, because that's touch. So do the work properly. Forget about the money. And if someone comes there, suppose that those braids are £150. You only have 120 or £100. Don't give them cheaper braids because they're paying £100, because they've told you all they have. Their budget is £100. You still have to give them the £150 value of hair. You have to do it the same. You have to sacrifice that £50 because she will come back. She will bring, and they'll be seeing her. She will do the advertisement for you while she's walking. So make your customers as relaxed or happy as possible. Customer care is the key. It's the secret. Yeah. Being in Africa, sometimes people say juju. There's nothing like it. I don't believe in juju. The big juju is to know what you are doing and know the game properly. The girls on Instagram, they're charging $350 for boho. I'm not charging $350. It's a lot of money. People don't have that. then you end up getting one client a week. I want to charge 140 to 180 depending on the volume and length of the hair, size, and the braids that they want.
Nice.
So it's the customer care. Don't let any money go home. If they brought £30, find something to do with that £30. Get that money.
Mm.
And the existing customers, really look after those ones. Don't mess about with your returning customers. Don't mess about with them because they're the heart of your business.
Yeah.
If you mess up with them, sorry, you will close down. And you shouldn't have friends outside because you don't have time. You need one close friend. You don't have friends, but those are your friends. So when they come there, it's fun, to see every day you get a new person and you find different stories, different. It's beautiful. Hairdressing, I feel like a doctor because they tell me all the big secrets, Serious. Even before they get divorced, their family don't know. But I know that she's getting divorced, but I will give them an advice. What is it about? Oh, because I said, don't do it, don't do it. So I've saved so many marriages, So I don't know what to say to you. Be there for them, because when you're in someone's head, for some reason they relax and they start talking. They're like drunk, and they'll be telling you things that they've never told anyone before. Really, it's is it therapy?
Yes.
Yeah,
Therapy.
yes, it's therapy and
Unprofessional therapy session. Unqualified therapy.
So customer care is the key, because I end up in a house of a prince because of customer care. The
Wow.
prince and the woman, she was going around to find the best customer care person. And it happened to be me.
Wow.
Yeah. And I end up in a house of a prince. So guess how much money I made there? End up with football thingy as a VIP on a box. They're serving meals. It can take you far away.
Yeah.
So it's customer care. The key, the secret, customer care.
I love that. And again, it's what people want. They want to be looked after. So if there's one thing that people take away from this, customer care is up there. That's number one. Abby, what's the one piece of advice you would give to up and coming stylists?
Mum's kind of touched on it, because it is about that staying humble in that you know it all. And because I was going to say Mum's touched on it, because if we got opportunities to work for Universal, you don't know who's walking through your doors. You don't know which client is walking through your doors. And because of our customer care, and because we've been humble, and because we treat our clients very well, our connection with Universal and other films hasn't sometimes been through us going to be like, oh, by the way, we're stylists.
Yeah.
Our client that came there, Sharon Martin, is a well-known makeup artist, hair artist. She's done Matilda. She's done loads of good. If you Google her, you'll see her up there working. We didn't know who our client was. We just chatting. We just did a great job. Sharon now puts us on to Universal. So what I mean is that you just don't know who is going to walk through your doors. So you need to stay humble, be nice, deliver what your client wants. I had to just mention that because I think that is crucial. But my one piece of advice will be just never give up. Even when things are going wrong, don't give up. Keep going. Keep pushing, If you give up, what you wanted to happen will never happen because you stopped too early. You're going to have to go through those hurdles to get to where you want to get to.
Yeah. No, I mean, agree on both fronts. Like, running a business isn't for the faint of heart. So if you're gonna do it, don't give up when you might be like inches away from the big breakthrough that you've been looking for.
Yeah.
And Naomi, what's your one piece of advice for up and coming stylists?
I'd say be kind. Kind to clients and also fellow hairstylists, just because you never know number one, who you're encountering. You never know who that person sitting in your chair is. They could be a massive door to a really great opportunity. I know that our initial introduction to Hollywood was through our client, one of our clients, Sharon Martins. Yeah. So be nice, be kind. You never know who is who. And, also be kind to other hairstylists because you never know how they can help you either.
Yeah.
And when they do get a moment to shine, embrace that for them, love that for them, clap for them, celebrate them. Don't try and put them down. Just be kind. You never know what each person's going through in life. You see people posting lots of really positive stuff there, their business is booming, but we all are still human. We all have our own personal lives, and you wouldn't want to aggravate anyone else's already difficult and challenging circumstances. So just be kind, be nice. People are trying to work hard for their families to build something, leave a legacy, but we do also encounter issues and problems. So sharing a kind word, spreading a loving spirit doesn't cost a thing. It's completely free to do. So if we can exercise more of that, we'll all win, evolve and grow together.
Yeah, kindness costs nothing and it can mean so much to people when you least expect it. So, no, I love all of that advice. And I mean, time has flown by, but we have our last question for all of you now. And I mean, given everything that has already happened at the beginning of this year, we're only a couple of months into 2025, but it's been busy for all of you so far. And I can imagine, how many projects you might be involved in at the moment. But what's next for you as a team, as a family, as a salon? What is next on the cards? Josee, I'll ask you first.
Next is me to help young people. So I told my daughters to be sending letters to schools where if I can give any little help for the young ones. So life, yes, university is very good, but we all not it's not everybody has the capacity
Mm-hmm.
to uni. So our fingers can do a lot. Yeah. So, I just go around to encourage the young ones to take over all this whatever we have built.
Yeah, to build the business. 'Cause I think with you as well, Mum's looks brilliant. She's amazing, but she's obviously getting older as well soon and tired. So she'd want to soon relax. And it's just about just teaching people and stuff. I think at this point, yeah.
Oh, I love that. So I mean, Naomi, Abby, what is that a team thing? It's like all of you are wanting to give back to your communities now and help the young people that are coming up.
Yeah, so a lot more training people into building businesses, training people into the styling and stuff like that. So a lot more teaching the skills that we've now acquired over the years, what we know, and passing on that knowledge, be a bit more at Pinewood Studios as well, delivering more masterclasses with them. And yeah.
Oh, I love that. And Naomi, your thoughts on this as you're all teaming up together to help this, the next generation of stylists.
A similar thing. So I've currently got a student who I am teaching makeup actually.
Oh, wow.
As a hairstylist and makeup artist, I do offer personalized classes too. So I'm currently training a 20-year-old girl who's come from Germany on holiday for 6 weeks, and I'm doing one-to-one lesson with her, training her on that. And just, yeah, similar thing, as my sister said, giving back, going to schools, doing master classes, doing workshops to inspire and upbuild young ones, really.
Oh, yeah, love all of that. It sounds amazing that all of you have come together and, like I said, built this empire that people can now see and admire and be inspired by, but also doing the work to jump into the community and help other people follow in your footsteps. So, I mean, one thing that I am all for is giving people their flowers when they're here. So, thank you, all three of you, for doing all of the amazing work that you've done, because I'm sure there are hundreds, if not thousands, of women that are now like, oh, I want to do that too, and they feel like they can because they've seen you do it.
Thank you, Jade.
We're here to help.
Thank you very much, Jade. Thank you.
No, that's fine. I mean, it's been so lovely having all three of you here and having some of your time, because, like I said, I know you're all busy, you're all mums, you're all partners, you all have, you know, each other and your families to look after. So we appreciate your time and you coming on, and yeah, speaking to our community too. So thank you.
Thank
so
you
much,
too.
Jade.
Thank you for considering us for an interview, Jade. It's so nice. Thank you.
No, that's fine. And for everybody who's listening, anything that Abby, Josee, or Naomi has mentioned that we may need to link, please do not worry. You don't have to fight with Google. We will add it to the newsletter version so that you can find it really easily. We'll also add links to all of them on Instagram and websites so that you can follow them and keep up to date with all the amazing things that they're doing. So again, you don't need to fight with Google. We will add the links. So a huge thank you to our community for listening all the way through. And, you know, if any of this has inspired you, or if any of this has really touched you, remember that sharing is caring. Share it with somebody else, share it with other people, because there are more people that need to hear about all of the amazing work that these ladies have done. Because, you know, like I said, if we all band together, we can all be a part of helping each other build a legacy, you know. So please share and like and forward on to others. But other than that, again, a huge thank you to our guests. Thank you to the audience. And we will see you on the next episode.
Thank you. Bye-bye.